Throw it! Hey guys, welcome to the VSO channel. There goes that PMag. What we're going to take a look at today is the ARAK 21 from Faxon Firearms, based right here in our home state of Ohio in Cincinnati. And what we basically get with this rifle is a hybrid of AR and AK components. We have fully standard AR controls. We have bolt lockback and release, the easily accessible safety instead of having to do that goofy thing the AK guys do. But we also get the advantage of a piston system and an easily accessible charging handle that's non-reciprocating. And we're also going to see a lot less recoil out of this. 5.56 223 guns are generally pretty docile to shoot to begin with. One of the first things that I noticed about this rifle when I first started shooting it was that it's hardly any movement at all. It's similar to shooting a 22 long rifle chambered weapon. It's just a very gentle gun. The only real negative side of it that I did see, and this is because I'm mostly an AR guy, not an AK guy. You AK guys, if you're interested in this, are probably going to feel right at home. But the sights are a little bit high up. Unless you're using very low rise sights, you may have to adjust your cheek well just a little bit to get in there and acquire your front post. Easy ways to remedy that. I mean, there's many types of cheek riser pads and things you could just slap on the back of the stock. So it's something that's easy to take care of if that's an issue you experience. But in general, I was very impressed with it when I first took it out. One thing that really seemed nice about it too was that even though we have this piston system on the front end, it's still a pretty light gun. I can very easily manipulate this weapon, no problem. A little bit of front weight on it, but not too bad at all. It's very comfortable to shoulder and handle. I definitely feel like this is something I could run all day. One other concern that you may run into with it is mounting attachments. Okay, because with your charging handle in the out position like that, as you can see, to charge your weapon and things, you may not want to have anything mounted back here. But as far as getting a light on this, if you're looking for home defense or something like that, probably going to need to look into getting a pressure pad set up, possibly mounted on this side of the rifle, and just have a pressure pad located right here on the other opposite rail, and that'll remedy that for you, no problem. So there's definitely very easy workarounds for some things that you may be concerned about with it ergonomically. Very solid built gun, as you can see, very thick milling. We have one monolithic piece that runs all the way top the gun to where your adjustable piston system is here. So definitely something that I think was very well conceived when they put this together.
All right, so the ARAK 21. Let's talk about this non-reciprocating charging handle here for a second. As you can see, it has a locked forward position as well as a locked open position, and it's easily transferable to the other side simply by depressing a little D10 in here with a live round. It pops right out and you can flip it over the other side. This weapon system is currently offered in a variety of different calibers, including 7.62 by 39, 300 blackout. I do believe 6.5 Grendel's coming, and they are coming out with some larger calibers as well as left-handed ejecting receivers, if that's something that you're looking into, you know, for your left-handed shooters. The barrel swaps come very easily with the turning of a few bolts, ripping the barrel right out the front, putting a new one in, and you know, if necessary, you have a carrier change as well, but typically not. It does feed off of standard AR-15 style magazines for all calibers. So if we're talking 7.62 by 39 magazines that fit in AR style wells, things like your PMags and some other steel variant magazines as well. Same thing with 6.5 Grendel and 300 blackout, which uses standard Stat 9 magazines. Controls are the same as Wombat mentioned, but the other thing I wanted to point out real quick, if we can lock this guy open, which is a little bit different. Typically, when you grab to lock the bolt to the rear for an AR-15, typically you have to do some kind of goofy grip to get to this and pull the charging handle, or, you know, it's just not very ergonomic. when you're doing that with an AR-15. There's a lot of training that you can do to do that, but the ARAK 21 solves this problem. All you have to do, grab the charging handle, pull it to the rear, and then you have enough space to depress the bolt release. One more time. To the rear, press it, and release. This is no longer captive. This is free floating, no longer attached to the bolt. So if we get in here and look at this, you can see that there are 2 ejection tabs. We have 2 bars inside the actual bolt face. AR-15s typically only have 1. That'll aid in your ejection. Those are spring. I can't get my fat finger in there, but and if we look here, it does appear that we have the ability to remove the shell deflector, maybe even add, you know, an enhanced one that's a little bit bigger, depending on the shooter. So that capability is there. As Wombat mentioned, this is very light. I can hold this with one hand out here like this, no problem. Why don't we go ahead and charge this sucker up? We go ahead and run some more rounds through it.
Cannot wait. Let's do it.
All right, guys, that said, we are going to be doing a full torture test on this rifle. Next week, Mr. Tactical Bacon will be rejoining the fold. He was on deployment for a little while. He is now back, and we're gonna have him in to thoroughly torture test this weapon system. And it's gonna be a great time. We're not gonna clean this thing. We're gonna run a couple hundred rounds through it today just to kind of get a feel for it. And then next week, dirty and unassisted, this thing is going to get the ringer. Full spectrum testing thanks to Faxon Firearms on this particular weapon system. Such a fun gun, dude. Such a fun gun.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately,
we have to get it dirty.
we have to destroy it.